We are less than 2 weeks away from opening day here in Arlington, Texas. I am so excited. I'm going to be boots on the ground for the first 3 games of the Boston Red Sox season. And if you're excited, show me by hitting that like button right now. We should have hundreds of likes on today's video. According to most reports, the big roster cutdown is supposed to happen tomorrow. We will be getting a look at what we think is mostly our complete 26-man roster. Now, Cora said everyone's not going to get cut tomorrow. We're not going to know the full 26-man roster tomorrow, but a significant chunk of players that are not going to make the 26-man roster are going to be sent to minor league camp. So today, before that happens, I'm going to give you my second and final 26-man Red Sox roster projection. Let's start with the catchers. Connor Wong, Carlos Narvaez. I think Narvaez has solidified that. I think he solidified it pretty early on. He's gotten a majority of the starts and majority of the backup starts behind Connor Wong, and he's a really solid defender, and that's all you can ask for in a backup catcher. When you bring in a backup catcher, you're not asking for them to be the Barry Bonds of the team. You're not asking for them to be in the top third, top half of your lineup. You're asking them to be solid defenders that can throw guys out, that can block, and that can receive well. Narvaez does all of that. He has shown so many good things from the catcher position that I think it's pretty obvious that he has earned the spot as the backup catcher. Triston Casas is your starting first baseman. I think we all know that already. That is not a surprise. David Hamilton is my starting second baseman for opening day. And ladies and gentlemen, David Hamilton has earned this start. He has earned the opening day spot at second base. Everyone was talking about Alex Bregman. Oh, Alex Bregman's going to get the spot. Alex Bregman's going to get the spot. He's not started a game at second base. This is a position battle between David Hamilton, Kristian Campbell, and Vaughn Grissom. And David Hamilton has been by far the best of the bunch in spring training. Not only did he gain the muscle that he was asked to gain and gain the mass that he was asked to gain in the offseason, but he came in and not only played really good defense in spring training, but has hit the ball damn well too. So David Hamilton, my biggest surprise of spring training, and someone that I think has definitely earned his spot, at least for opening day, in the starting lineup. However, I do think Kristian Campbell makes this roster. There was a report that came out yesterday that said that Cora was not going to bring up any of the big 3 if they were not everyday starters. He did not want to platoon any of the big 3, and I understand that. I don't think David Hamilton lasts that long as your starting second baseman. I think very quickly into the season, Kristian Campbell is going to prove that he is the starter, and I think he deserves a spot on the 26-man roster. Here's what Cora had to say today about Kristian Campbell. I feel like he's getting comfortable. Put a good swing and then a walk. That was good. I think defensively today was the first day I was able to see it and got a few chances. Even late in the game, it's 12-3 or whatever it was, and he made 2 nice plays. That tells you who he is as a defender and the defender that he is. Campbell is starting to get comfortable. I know at the beginning of spring, did not play well, had not gotten a hit, was looking a little rough defensively. But for the last week and a half, he's looked like a bona fide major leaguer. And in that spring breakout game, when all 3 of the big 3 went yard, like Campbell started that off. Campbell has started to look really comfortable, both at the plate and in the field. And today, if you guys watched the spring training game he was in today, he made multiple really good plays at second base. So I think he will make the opening day roster. But how about you? Does Kristian Campbell make the opening day roster? I want you to type a Y if you think he does. I want you to type an N if you think he does not. I think he does, but you let me know in the comments. Rounding out the infield, Trevor Story is your starting shortstop. Obvious. He's had a really, really good spring, which is really great to see. Alex Bregman is your starting third baseman. The best defensive team has Bregman at third base. He's a Gold Glove third baseman. And that's not to say that Rafi is not a bad, it's not to say that Rafi is a horrible defender. He's not good, but he's not horrible either. But Bregman clearly is the defensive upgrade at third base. The game yesterday on Sunday, at the time of recording this, he started the turn of what was one of the most gorgeous double plays I've ever seen. And that is something, I'm sorry, you're not going to get Rafael Devers. If your goal this offseason was to improve the infield defense, that guy's got to be at third base. So what do you do with Rafi then? You DH him. First off, Romy Gonzalez makes the team as a utility player. He's earned it. He's going to be your backup first baseman behind Triston Casas. But Devers is your DH. And the reason why is because I think Masa starts the season on the IL. I know he's gotten a lot of time DHing, but he only, as of yesterday, threw from 90 feet for the first time this spring training. Everything that Cora has said is that they want to try to get him time in the outfield. Until he proves that he's fully healthy to play in the outfield, I think they're going to milk this. I think they are going to start him on the IL. And with that, you can start Rafael Devers at DH. Devers seems willing to do it now. So I think that that's what they end up doing because that is the best lineup, both defensively and offensively for the Red Sox going into opening day. Your outfield. Boom. Jaron Duran, Ceddanne Rafaela, Wilyer, Abreu, Rob Refsnyder. This is pretty obvious. Every report that we get now is that Wilyer, Abreu will be ready for opening day. Cora completely flipped his tune after Wilyer. Finally, the test came back clean on the gastrointestinal illness. So everything is pointing to Wilyer being ready for opening day. Jaron Duran, Ceddanne Rafaela. Ceddanne has had an incredible spring. I'm so happy to see that. And then Refsnyder, of course, your utility outfielder. I said this in my first roster projection, and I still believe it. This could be a top 5 outfield in baseball. If you get Duran as the all-star level player that he was last year, all-star game MVP Jaron Duran, if you get that again, if Wilyer has yet another step, if he takes another step forward, if Ceddanne can have that breakout season that we've been seeing in spring, this is a top 5 outfield in baseball. Argue with a wall. I think that this outfield is lethal, not just offensively, also on the base paths. All 3 of these guys can steal bases. And in the field, Wilyer won a Gold Glove. Jaron could win a Gold Glove. And Ceddanne, I bet you, in the next 2 to 3 years, will win a Gold Glove. This outfield could be one of the best in baseball. Let's get on to the rotation. Garrett Crochet. Garrett Crochet is number 1, and it was officially announced that he is your opening day starter. I'm so excited to watch him pitch on opening day. It's going to be awesome. He's your starter. He's your bona fide superstar. Sign him to an extension, please. Can we please do that? I would really appreciate it. But he is your bona fide superstar. And then you've got the rest of the rotation. It doesn't look great. I'm going to be honest. Doesn't look great. Richard Fitz and Quinn Priester I have making the opening day roster. So it's Garrett Crochet, Tanner Houck, Walker Buehler, Richard Fitz, Quinn Priester. Look, I love the depth. I do. Quinn Priester, Richard Fitz have both shown really, really good stuff in spring training. I love the depth. Not now. I don't want it now. Because in August and September, when inevitably a pitcher goes down, you do not want your depth already overextended. But this is the world we live in. This is the world we live in. Brian Bayo, Lucas Giolito, Cutter Crawford, all starting the season on the IL. It's not great. Not great. I don't love it. I know you don't love it. But thankfully, that's what the depth is for. I don't want to overextend that depth, but you signed the depth for a reason. So it is what it is. What's your confidence level in the rotation? I've been asking you guys this for the past few videos because I really want to know. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I'm at like a 6. Got to see what Buehler can bring. He's looked really good. Got to see what Priester can bring. Fitz has looked excellent in spring training. You let me know, though. Scale of 1 to 10. 1 being this is a dumpster fire of rotation. 10 being all 5 of these guys, if they could, will win the Cy Young. Let me know in the comments. Let's go to the bullpen. Liam Hendriks or Aroldis Chapman, the 2 that are vying for the closer role. No one's earned the closer role. I thought it was going to be a little more cut and dry. I thought Liam Hendriks was going to run away with it. He hasn't looked good. He hasn't. I don't trust Aroldis Chapman with the closer role. He's going to give me a heart attack every night if that's the case. So I don't know. Maybe Justin Slade, maybe Luis Guerrero, but it's going to be one of these two. I still think it's Liam Hendriks, but he just hasn't shown enough to prove that he is your closer. However, they will both make the opening day roster. Two more. Garrett Whitlock, Cooper Griswold. I think these are your two long relievers. I think they both have had the most experience going long in games. Cooper Griswold is going to be exactly what he was last year. Long reliever. If you have a bullpen game, he will be the guy that comes out after the opener. And then Garrett Whitlock. I'm so glad he's back. He's looked really good. Probably another long reliever. Might get some play in some key innings as well. But these two guys are definite locks in the bullpen. Luis Guerrero. I still did it. I know. My man has struggled. He has struggled mightily as of late. But I think he still did enough at the beginning of the season to show that the stuff is exciting, that the stuff is there, and that he is ready to go. However, as of late, not looked great. 5 2/3 innings. He's allowed 4 hits, 9 walks. Don't love that. Don't love that. 10 Ks. Love that. 6 earned runs. When you're giving up more earned runs than innings pitched, that's not great. But I still think he's done enough to prove that he deserves a spot on this roster. And I think most people agree as well that he deserves a spot on the roster. Justin Wilson, again, talked about this in my first video. The only reason he's here is because he's a lefty. I don't love the signing. He's been fine in spring training. Hasn't rocked my world. The stuff is really good, and that's why Breslow in the front office love him so much. And again, he is a lefty. You don't have many of those in the bullpen. So because of that, he will make the opening day roster. To round out the roster, Justin Slayton. I added Greg Weiser. I had to cut Vaughn Grissom. And with that, I added another reliever. So that's why Weiser's here. I'm still not the biggest fan of Greg Weiser, although he's looked better in spring training. But yeah, he just kind of got added because I ended up cutting Vaughn Grissom. So Roman Anthony, Marcelo Mayer, Vaughn Grissom are probably the big headline 3 that do not make the opening day roster for the Boston Red Sox. Grade it. Be the teacher. Be ruthless. Be relentless. Grade my Red Sox roster projection. I think I'm pretty spot on. I think there might be a few things that may or may not happen. Campbell very clearly could not make the roster. I'm just very hopeful that he will, based on everything that we've seen. I think they really, really, really want him on the roster too. So, yeah, you grade it. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know down below in the comments. And if you have not already, please consider subscribing. Our next goal is 1,500 subscribers. 408 subscribers away. News, rumors, injury updates, short form content as well. And when the season starts, daily recaps of the games. Boots on the ground for the first 3 games of the season is going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you hit that sub button. Join the fastest growing Red Sox YouTube channel. And until next time, go Sox.